Hello everyone, welcome to this session. My name is Sriwantha Attanayake. I'm a Senior Partner Solution Architect at Amazon, focusing around Microsoft technologies. Today we have two exciting guests to walk us through their application modernization story and practice. It's my pleasure to welcome Luiz Silva and Raphael Macedonio. Welcome, gents. Let's start with Luiz. Luiz, why don't you give a quick introduction to DNX Solutions and your life there?
Yeah, thanks, Shuri. Hi, my name is Luiz Silva, and I am a software engineer at DNX Solutions. I have been with DNX for the past 2 years, and I have more than 10 years of experience working with .NET and Windows applications. And on DNX, I joined the Windows Modernization program team to help customers to adopt more modern frameworks, architectures, and cloud-native solutions.
This is something I really like about DNX Solutions. You bring that developer flavor, developer experience into every customer engagements. Raphael, why don't you tell about your story and how do you engage with customers?
I'm a tech lead at DNX currently. I also have a background as a software engineer and mainly working with Windows solutions. So in the past 3 years that I'm working at DNX, the most beautiful thing is to see the clients learning the cloud and going to the cloud and being amazed by the power that the cloud brings to the business.
That's awesome, guys. There is a very unique thing that DNX bring to every Windows modernization. Do you want to shed some light around the typical customer journey, how they modernize their Microsoft workloads from legacy systems into more modern architecture, and some barriers they face in their journey?
Usually, customers that have built software products around 10 years ago, now they are facing similar issues. We have that across different customers from different industries. They usually are facing problems with inflexible environments. So the application is too coupled with Windows. They cannot scale properly. The application is too self-aware of its hosting environments. They have even difficulty to attract and retain good talents, right? Usually, software developers like to work with latest technology, latest software, and when you are stuck working with outdated technology, it's not good.
Yeah, I would say the barriers comes from, most of the times, from the roots of the companies, right? Like from how the business run, how the processes work. Yeah. It's really a mindset change that is required most of the times. Not only the technology, but the process has to change in most of the times. And DNX brings that to the table. It brings the DevOps mentality and mindset to the company and really hold hands to the client through the whole process. We have one of the most important phases of our projects in Windows Modernization, I'd say, it's the discovery phase, right? Where we do a lot of the workshops to learn what are the problems with the client. But mainly the barrier is it's not only technical, but mindset, I'd say.
Luiz, do you want to tell us why customers decide to go through Windows modernization journey?
Yep, it's usually a pretty common amongst customers. They usually have this amazing idea like around 10 years ago and decided to go building the application with .NET framework back then, and that was bound to Windows, right? Back in the time, environments were not so quickly to adapt like nowadays. We have a lot of DevOps practices, and it's so hard to get that on Windows. So they face issues with inflexible environments, scaling issues, or either it's impossible to scale or too expensive, making it impossible to scale, and even difficulty to attract and retain good talents. Most of developers don't like to work with outdated technology, and they will seek other companies that can provide better environments to them to work.
That's very important, and I know there are some occasions where you said, hey, the organization culture is not a match with DNX solution, and you actually walk away with that kind of opportunities because that cultural match is very important, right? Another thing about DNX is that your approach to customer engagement and how you want them to learn and be self-sufficient, because at the end of the day, these are always going to be some kind of limited engagements. Do you want to shed some light around how you transfer the DNX intellectual property to the customer? You have amazing GitHub repositories.
Well, at DNX, sharing knowledge is one of our core principles. DNX has a huge mentorship program that we run, even to hire our talents. So with clients, we bring that to the clients as well. We use the open source type of mentality when approaching a project, getting that documented and open to everyone that will work in the future in the company or is working at the moment in any of the companies. And as you mentioned, we have more than 200, I'd say, GitHub repositories open public. And yeah, it's open for everyone to use. And during the process, as I mentioned, we hold hands with the client and show them all the process, how to use, how to contribute if they want to. If they have a specific feature that they want to add to these modules, you can contribute. Anyone can contribute to that.
This is great, guys. Make sure that you guys go there and then check the description of this video. There are going to be some links for DNX GitHub repositories. Let's go into your application modernization discovery engagement. Every time when I speak to our account managers, customers, that's like the superstar. There are so many elements into that. Luiz, do you want to tell us what this application discovery is all about and how you engage with customers?
The Windows Discovery is something that we have been designing for more than 3 years already. Yeah. Since before I joined DNX, the team was designing the Windows Discovery, and we try to look to every aspect possible in the business. So technical feasibility, business goals, and product side as well. We get those 3 lenses of the business, and we look at how every aspect as possible, and we go deep in the pains that the customer has, the risks for this kind of project, because this is usually Windows Modernization is a huge project, right? It takes time, it's expensive, so you don't want to decide to go ahead with a project, and then in the middle of the project, you discover that you cannot move because it's too expensive. So the Windows Discovery is here to address that problem and to reduce that risks. And we have this analogy. We do the Windows Discovery as a couples therapy. Right? We get everyone from business, from product to technical team in a room, and we are there to discuss the problems. We are there to understand the problems, the goals, what are the issues, everything.
Yeah, it's pretty funny sometimes. Like we have several workshops that we run, and then one of them we call Path to Production. It's basically understanding how a ticket is created from a new feature to its delivered in production. And then during one of these workshops with one of the client said, "Hey, wait a bit, we need to discuss this internally. Can you guys please leave the room, and then we discuss this internally, and then we create another meeting for you guys to join us." So yeah, that's one of them, and it's more common than you think. Yeah. This sort of the divergences between business and technical teams.
This is mainly because I guess you ask the questions that sometimes the customer won't ask by themselves, right?
Yeah.
So you create that discussion between the business and the developers so that they can create better products and better go-to-market strategies. This is awesome, guys. Do you want to tell us a bit about the outcomes of this discovery? Like, what can the customer get after going through this Windows Discovery session?
The most important thing that we deliver is a roadmap ready to be implemented, either by the customer or with us. They will have a risk assessment, they will have a cost estimation, the target architecture that they will need to be moving towards.
Yeah, and not only one way. We create different paths for the client, like just migrating into a monolith still, but with a different architecture with .NET Core, .NET 6. Now we are moving to most of the clients. And then that already brings a lot of benefits in running containers, Linux containers, which is the best kind of performance that you can have. And at the end of the goal, we have like moving into microservices, which is a kind of a bigger type of engagement, right? So, but we create lift and shift type of approach, modernizing place, or then going to containerize, and then going to microservices. There's a lot of takeaways, and then we create this business case for the decision makers to be able to go or no go in this type of project. Most clients come with the fear of, I cannot stop my business to do this modernization because the code will change completely.
Yep.
And then this branching techniques, how we'll do to keep features coming to the main branch and keep this going as well, and being able to test and having the environments to test and everything.
When you have this discovery modernization, once a customer go through that, one of the things that you produce is these roadmaps, which makes life easy for a CTO or a decision maker to go to the board and then show them, hey, this is the path we are going to take. It may not be the optimal and ideal path, but it's the best fit for them based on their budget and timelines. Do you want to tell us a bit about what typical paths a customer take once you present these different modernization options?
Yeah, and regarding pros and cons, as we give them different options, we choose the best option based on our knowledge and based on what we saw about them, or what we know about them. Okay, do you have this option about you can go with lift and shift and have these benefits straight away? It's quickly, it's simple, your team will be able to get knowledge about how to work in the cloud. However, we will still not get the fully benefits of the cloud. So we have this another approach to do this little refactoring and replatform, so we can migrate or porting your .NET framework application to .NET 6, the latest version of the .NET. And then you can move to containers. If your application is too coupled with the operating system, and you can do this little refactoring, so you can have a stateless application and you can get some benefits from it and reduce cost, because once you remove Windows from the billing, you're going to reduce your cost a lot only by that. And some customers might want to go straight away to microservices, to serverless. Sometimes it might not be possible that such a huge jump, because they will need to change mentality. Sometimes it's too disruptive. We give those options, and you try our best to hold their hands.
This modernization discovery engagement, I mean, sometimes it can be multi-year projects. Does the customer wants to, like, let's say they just want to run only the discovery piece, because most of these customers are developer heavy, they have very strong talents inside, but they just want only the discovery piece. Do you run this modernization discovery as a standalone engagement? What do you refer?
Yeah, definitely you can run as a standalone type of project. The outcome of it is really valuable. The business case, a lot of takeaways that we have about the code, the performance of the application, the NuGet packages that you have there, these different paths to modernize, how long it may take you to get there. Definitely the times we put there is with our knowledge that we have already into migrating these applications. The client may take a bit more time. We had a case, actually, one client, he didn't want to go with us for the modernization, but then later in the process, he just realized, hey, I don't have the know-how, my team's taking too long, and keeps constantly moving to the features, to the business as usual. So I cannot have people working on that, I need your help. So we normally get a split team, like 1-2 engineers from DNX, few engineers from the client, because we do need the client on it as the business rules and everything that has in the application. We don't have this knowledge. We know how to migrate it, but we don't have the business knowledge as their developers have. So it's not easy.
One of the advantage of engaging a partner like DNX Solution is that you bring that years of experience working with multiple clients in multiple industries, and you bring that intellectual property into the customer table, right?
Yeah.
Because the customer wants some way to change themselves, and you know what that change looks like in other engagements, right? So for example, you may have worked with a very strong customer, and you know how that culture works, how those DevOps pipelines works, and that knowledge is really valuable for a new customer who wants to improve their practice. Yeah. This is all great, guys. Let's go into some real life stories. I want some more gossips. Tell me some stories about real life engagements that you did with customers and some challenges.
We had this customer that was facing the same issues that we are talking here today. They have issues with the dev team, not talking with the product team. Once they had to turn down a customer of them because the cost to onboard a new customer was too expensive, the return of investment that the customer will give to them. So we went through the Windows Discovery, and it was the first phase, and we draw a roadmap for them, including 3 phases. One pre-modernization phase, so we could address all the issues that both the dev team and the product team was having. There are simple things that we can address, and we can act quickly on that, and the customer will have some benefits straight away. The second phase, they decide to go ahead with the re-platform choice, and we spent, I don't know, 6-8 months. Around 5 or 6 developers, 3 or 4 from DNX, 2 from the customer, and we were showing by example how to do things in the new ways of doing things, and the upskilling was so amazing.
That's what I mentioned about the mindset. You do need the change in the mindset from the client. That's perfectly the case. And another one that I remembered was this particular client that we had. The devs, when they joined the team, they would take a month to onboard, to have the whole solution working properly. And so after this pre-modernization phase that we did, a dev in the first day could download, clone the repo and start running straight away using Docker, Docker Compose, serverless stack, and then just in the pre-modernization phase, it's already magical.
This is something that I experienced in my previous developer career. I was managing a large developer team, and it's not only the newly onboarded developer time that you spend onboarding them, they need to go through all these runbooks. The tech lead or the architects also spend their time, which is usually not accounted for in the projects, to onboard this new guy into the processes, to get their development environments ready. And definitely, if you can improve that, there's a lot of cost savings and man-day savings that you can achieve with that.
And doesn't matter how many documents you have in place, you always will miss something that someone clicked some button that did the magic there.
Exactly. These are great stories, guys. Let's say a customer wants to engage you. How can they reach out to you?
The best way to reach out to us would be through our website, it's DNX.solution. Reach out to us, that we can contact us, we can have a 30-minute talk, just a chat.
Yes, guys, make sure that you check the links in the description of this video. There are some great resources that you can read and learn about DNX solution and their modernization practice. And it's my pleasure to talk with you guys. It's always fun to have developer conversation with another developer, right? Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks all for watching this video.